Thank you.
Okay, so I was just saying by way of introduction, my name is Gary Sempt. I'm in Winnipeg in the very middle of Canada. We've been, trying to stay close to the Charter over many years. We do a thing called Peace Days up here, which is associated with Rotary, but I'm a non-Rotarian myself. But we have a lot of Rotary support.
Okay.
And, which we did in September. So we had about 10 events on various subjects, and we keep busy with it. And I'm trying to continue to keep our association going and perhaps try to amplify it if I can over the next short while. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Gary. It's really, really nice to know. All the way from Winnipeg. And could you repeat the name of the event that you had, Peace?
Yeah, so we call it a Peace Days Festival, which is
Peace
usually
Days.
September 10th to the 21st. Yeah. And it's now part of a Rotary Winnipeg Peace Builders Committee. So it's part of a Rotary process in Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I did.
Okay, yeah, no, sorry, I was busy doing.
Yeah, I was, yeah, so no.
There we go. Marge, I muted you.
Miranda, if we have time, I guess I can mention a few other things just to stimulate some thought. We just also had a anti-nuclear proliferation meeting here at our Canadian Museum for Human Rights with about 150 high school students. So it was high school led, and they're looking for ways to have an influence. And last year, they were able to get the city of Winnipeg to pass an anti-nuclear proliferation resolution in the city hall. So Canada hasn't taken a bold step in this area, largely because of our relationship with the U.S. and the protection that we get through the U.S. system. But there's a fairly significant group of people up here that are concerned with nuclear proliferation, and times are a bit unusual as we speak. Right. So that was another significant initiative. And then we had a very nice Peace Day walk sort of thing with junior high students, and we had about 600 kids, and they went through our Canadian Museum for Human Rights, which is quite a iconic building, and they had a very good experience and were very pumped, and it was fun to watch them. And then the rest of the events were more webinars on various subject matters, like forgiveness project. We did one at a Hindu temple on empathy that was very compelling. So just interesting discussion points.
Okay, that's really, I think those are the two themes. I mean, peace in general, and then the anti-nuclear proliferation, as you're saying, are basic. And I think a lot of youths are very worried about that. So it's actually really nice to know that that is happening, at least in Winnipeg, or hopefully eventually at a larger scale. I think that is also one of the subjects that I'm going to propose for our youth collaborating with for compassion program that we're hoping to start. We have started some meetings already with India, with the Southeast Asia area. So we have a few schools that are going to be joining us, and we're going to be having open space technology projects where they can get together and start talking. So I'm hoping maybe we can connect schools in Winnipeg to do the same.
Yeah, we also organize what we call an ethics cafe. So that's with students, usually grade 10, 11, 12, and they get together and share ethical questions. And it's kind of got a process of encouraging discussion. And that might be something we could actually plug you into and expand to more schools that way by linking up.
I'd love that. I'd love to hear more about that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. I'm taking my notes because
So
Thank
on,
you.
I think it's November 18th, I'm meeting with the Manitoba Association for Rights and Liberties. So it's
Okay.
a specific association that deals in this area. And they happen to have some intern students. And so I'm hoping that one of the students will kind of take up the cause of linkage with the compassionate charter movement. And it, because that would give me a bit more horsepower to, make the connection. And then we could explore areas for overlap that, if we could get a few initiatives going together, that might get it stabilized. And that association's been around for, 50 years and, has a staff and contingent that could help, just be a platform for a connectivity.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'll provide you with the time of that meeting. And if Marilyn or yourself were free, that it would be a great opportunity to try to leverage that relationship.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Please let me in.
Okay.
Send me the information for that. I would like to. I think that's something that can definitely start bringing us all together. I've been on a few meetings today and yesterday about this. How else can we start great collaborations, and especially with youths, and how can we bring them into the world and start listening, because I'm sure we're all sure that they have great ideas.
Oh yeah.
And we really want to start listening.
Yeah, a couple of our initiatives are actually student led. So once we get the idea out there, we just support them. Like we don't, they take the full charge of where it's going.
Great. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Gary. Thank you. Okay, Marge or Sarah, if either who wants to speak first.
Okay. I'll speak now and because it's not Sarah Jamel, right? I'm looking at my phone.
No, it's Sarah Chandler.
And I don't know where Sarah Chandler is from. So I'll just give you an update about what's happening in our neck of the woods, which is in Richmond Hill, which is in York Region. So I apologize. I'm also supposed to be the host of another meeting. So I'm only sorry. I'm here now. We had an election on Monday night, and it was good in many ways, but the person who's championing Richmond Hill to become a compassionate city did not get reelected. So we have to regroup and figure out what we are doing. And it's a little disconcerting that way. I think the mayor was definitely behind us. So he definitely got reelected with a sounding majority. So I think we're fine. We have to just figure it out. So that's one thing. We have a happy to chat bench that we are doing, and it has got finally, after a lot of back and forth, the election didn't help. We got the city to to go and it's at print. We should have it done soon, very soon, within a couple of weeks, if not sooner, next week. We're going to have a bench. So we're going to have a happy to chat bench, which is a recognized Compassionate for York Region initiative. And everyone wants it to be the first of many. So it's just a way, not just the bench combating loneliness, everything else, but it's a way of getting Compassionate York Region out there for what we are doing. I also will brag that Sarah Jamel, which she was working with you very closely until she got a full-time job, and I've sort of been stepping up. But her and I on Sunday received the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Award from our MP. So it was really an honor for both of us. It was a very nice ceremony. We were recognized for our community service. So that was a positive as well. So that's what has been happening. I think when did we meet last?
Must have been about 6 weeks ago or so.
Yeah,
these meetings are scheduled every 6 weeks-ish.
Every 6 weeks, yeah, because we had the International Day of Peace, and I think I reported on that last time.
I
Yeah.
think so. I think
Yeah, so we did have, that was successful and everyone loved it,
Mhm.
and it was great in many respects. But yeah, so we are moving forward with that. We have a group of people that are all bought individual tickets, but we're all getting together to watch the gala as well.
Okay.
So that's a positive thing as well that we're really quite positive about. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Well, congratulations, first of all, for the award on Sunday. That
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah,
very
amazing.
exciting. And it's
Mhm.
always really nice to see how all this compassionate work can
Yes.
build up and can
Definitely.
do so
Yeah.
much good in the community as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is
You're
what you
definitely
are doing.
We're trying. We also do have Richmond Hill was the home of was the location for, I think, basically the largest in North America walk for Iran, the whole freedom protest. We had on
Mhm.
October 1st 50,000 people mostly Iranians, descended upon Richmond Hill, which only has a population of 200,000. So it was just absolutely amazing to see that happen, and the word compassion comes out all the time. So bit of a political hot potato in many ways, but it really is positive in so many other ways. So yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing that, Marge. Thank you. Excellent. Sarah, would you like to share what you have been doing or questions you might have about what's happening?
I probably have more questions. I signed the charter a long time ago. I haven't done anything directly in relation to the charter. I'm a longtime associate of Canadian Friends Service Committee, the peace and service arm of Quakers in Canada. I've worked on Indigenous peoples issues in getting the declaration to fruition and in the criminal justice program. My specialties are human rights. I have a master's degree in understanding and securing human rights from the University of London, and I've worked in restorative justice locally for many years. And I have a concern for children of incarcerated parents in Canada who are underserved on every level. I'm involved in our local friendship center, so I carry on being involved with Indigenous issues in my community. The community hasn't done anything about the charter as far as I know, so I'm kind of tuning in to see what's happening now that I'm retired. I might be able to engage more in moving things forward locally through the Friendship Center and through various Quaker initiatives in British Columbia. Lillooet is in the southwest corner of British Columbia on the Fraser River. It's a community of greater metropolitan, about 5,000 people, 55% of whom are Indigenous.
Okay, thank you. Unfortunately, I'm not as eloquent and as knowledgeable yet about the charter to say, oh, I know Marilyn would jump in immediately and she'd say, oh, next to you or by you or close to you, this is happening. But do peruse through our website, and I'm going to show you, and probably Gary and Marge already know all about our map of co-creators, so you can find people that are working in your area and similar projects, or in other places around the world where you can find inspiration from. So I think that's what I'm going to do today, and we'll see. Maybe hopefully you'll be able to join us in our next meeting. We're trying to schedule these meetings every 5 to 6 weeks with different communities from all around the world. So yesterday it was New Zealand, tomorrow is USA, today is Canada, last week we had Africa. And so we're moving around different areas of the world doing this kind of conversation. Basically, that's why we call them chats. So it's just for us to come here, chat about what we're doing. So I'll chat about what the charter is doing, and I'll share screen, because one of the first things that people said to me when I arrived was that it was a bit hard to navigate the charter page. So I thought, well, let's start giving classes about how to navigate, what is most important, how you can share. First of all, find what we're doing and then share it. So the first page is our homepage. And this is where people affirm the charter. This is probably what you did, Sarah. To start with, that allows people to get their newsletter, and then you go into our database so that we can keep informed. Basically, it's a weekly newsletter and these odd invitations that we send out either to a course or to an event. The other part is this calendar of events. So you'll find all our events and courses right here. And you just click on one and you can register to anyone you want, which is in a kind of like a time zone, even if it says US chat or New Zealand chat. If it's a better timetable for anyone to assist, please just sign on to that one. What we do need is for people to register so that we can send them reminders of those meetings and maybe even the recordings afterwards. Some meetings we forget to record, so it's always better to actually be here just in case we didn't record it. One of our biggest projects at the moment is trying to get people to join our map of co-creators. This map is completely free map, and it's a way that organizations and people can communicate with each other and find out who and what is happening in other areas of the world. The map always opens in the area where you are. So I'm in Monterrey, Mexico, so that's why it opens here. But as I zoom out of the map, we'll start seeing how United States, this area of Canada, and all the way up there is populating with compassionate organizations and people. And one of the wonders of this map is that once you get your pin up, which is really easy, you just click register, choose whether you're registering yourself or one of the organizations you're working for. And you can do both or more. Just add your email, your full name. You don't need to add your phone number, but the postal code is important. And maybe a little bit about what you do or what the organization does. And you choose one main area, one primary area of interest. So maybe we're interested in one of the areas of community and governance or of peace or whatever. We choose that as our main area of interest. And then we can choose as many secondary areas of interest that we want to. Once we have clicked that we have made the self-assigned assessment, what we're saying there and accepting these terms and conditions is basically that we're going to use the map for collaborative work and not so much for selling a product. Once we press OK, an email comes to us and it just puts us on the map. And so we become one of these pins on the map that other people that are registered on this map can contact. So we can go to the filter and say we were interested in anybody who's doing education work, and we can see only those that are involved in education around our area. So there's people from all around the world in all categories, really. So it's a very nice way of communicating. If I were interested in say, communicating with someone in the area where I live, I can click on these pins and I can select them and an invitation note comes up here. So I just basically write my email and I can communicate with them and I can say, hey, I'm interested in your project or I live in the same area. What are you doing or can we collaborate? So or do some project together. You can choose as many pins as you like to communicate with. And hopefully people will be communicating with you as well, so that you can start collaborating together. I need to reselect them all in order to see them again. But I'm going to put the link of this page in the chat so that you can actually go ahead and register yourself. And we want organizations and people to actually make this map their own. So you're more than welcome to just copy the link, paste it on a website or on your emails, and get different people to join from wherever they are. And you can see, I think this is Richmond Hill, isn't it? It's becoming very populated because of all the good work that has been happening in the area. So that is one of the things that we're promoting and trying to get more and more people on this project. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment because somebody came in. Joy House.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
You can
Thank
hear
you
me?
for coming. Yes, we can hear you. Thank you for coming.
Okay, so are there only 4 people on the call?
Yeah, we had about 10 people registered, but some
Oh,
people
too
can't
bad.
make it. Yeah, but
Okay.
you're always welcome, and you can introduce yourself. We have actually gone through a bit of our own introductions, but if you would
Yes,
like
I'm
to.
sorry. I'm late. I was at another meeting. So
That's okay.
I'm only going to stay for a minute because I'm just catching the metro to go home.
Okay.
But yeah, I just wanted to pop in. Yeah, my name is Joy House, and I've been involved with the compassionate integrity training.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, for I guess about 1.5 years now, and I was kind of hoping that some of the other facilitators in that program would, who are from Canada, who would be joining. Yeah, because
Okay.
there are quite a few of us.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's important, you know, that we join and develop kind of a network here in Canada.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
from
I'm a CIT facilitator, but I'm based in Mexico.
Are you? Yeah,
Yeah.
well, and I'm facilitating out of San Antonio, so there you go.
Okay. Okay. That's where I
Yeah.
took my first facilitation. My first
Oh,
course, how I got to know CIT was through Compassionate San Antonio.
okay. Well, they're famous, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been facilitating with them since June of last year, of 2021, I guess. So
Okay.
yeah, and but I went through the facilitator course with a couple of Canadians, and when we're on our calls, there are Canadians around.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I'll put
so
it
I'm
I'll add it into our chat, the link you can send them for them to register to our newsletters, and then they would get the invitations as well to these meetings. We tend to have these
yeah,
meetings 5 to 6 weeks apart.
yeah.
So
Okay, and okay, so what is the goal of the purpose of these meetings as opposed to some of the other meetings that we have?
okay, well, these are Charter for Compassion. We call them chats, and we only started them since May, I think, May or June. We started to reach out to our members and partners and offer this space to chat about what is happening in different areas. So we have Marge Andre here from Richmond Hill in Canada, who's doing a lot of very important work there, and getting
And
Richmond Hill.
Richmond Hill is in Toronto, around Toronto, or is it that in?
Marge,
Where is
Yeah.
you can answer that.
Richmond
It is.
Hill is just north of Toronto.
Okay, great.
Like I go down to Toronto often. It's basically a suburb. Though we're a population of 200,000, we're part of York Region, which is 1.2 million people. So it's a very dense, largely populated, and very diverse area.
Okay. I'm gonna try. I have very little bandwidth. I'm gonna try and put my camera on. Anyway, whatever. I don't know. I'm stuck here in the metro. Yeah. So like I'm alone here in Montreal, and
Okay. I don't think you'll be alone. There must be there are definitely more things happening in Montreal, but
well, yeah, I thought that I thought that I could get this to catch on a little better in Montreal, but so far no takers because there's no French translation or anything. But I guess that's going to come given that the charter is so world encompassing, you know, at least in the world where English can be spoken. Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, I did want to be here for the hour, and thank you for the link, and and
well, look out for our invitations. Do look out for our invitations to future meetings, and check our calendar events continuously on the homepage, so you can join us whenever you're ready and whenever other people are ready.
Okay, yeah, well, I'll make sure that the other people that I know get the link. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Joy.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's see.
That was nice. Very, very nice. Okay. So one of the next things that I wanted to mention was we have our global gala coming up shortly, and we're really interested in as many people as possible joining us for the global gala. I'll share my screen again and show you where to get that information from. So the global gala is one of our programs, and I usually just reach it by going down the menu, clicking on global gala, and I will share the global gala link. But here we have the basic information that we need to know. The gala is going to be on the 12th of November. And we have 2 times for it. So when you go into, well, we can actually read them here. There is one event happening at 7:30 and the other is at 4:30. They're going to be exactly the same events. They go on for 2 hours, even though the gala actually begins at 8 a.m. That is, or at 5 p.m. So that is where we're going to be announcing our well, awarding 4 wonderful people who have done, well, 3 people and 1 organization that have done wonderful work globally. And we do this, last year we awarded 9 people. So this year we kind of brought it down to importance and condensed it all in 4 people. The presenters of this are going to be fantastic as well. So let's see who they have put up. This is continuously updating. but these are the people who are going to be presenting the awards to the awardees. We'll have a chance to see Rick Hansen, Rafi Kabukian, Musimbi Cañoro, etc., etc. So we also have a pre-gala music festival before that and an after-gala dance party after the event. So we really hope we're preparing something very special. We're getting together all of these bits and pieces in order to make it a really fun moment. You can purchase tickets here. We have a wide range of pricing for the tickets. You basically just choose the time you would like to be on to watch the gala, and there's prices from $5 to whatever anybody can help us with. This is our main fundraising event of the year, so we hope you can help us by registering yourselves and also by inviting other people to join us. You'll also see that for $100, we'll be planting trees. You could also get a signed book by either John Culkin or Karen Armstrong. And if you also want to be more part of this, if you could send us your logos to add to our sponsorship pages, that would be great. You'll see that Marge actually, and I myself, I'm inviting friends over to my place to watch the gala together. And so we'll be, so each of those people are buying their individual tickets and joining me to watch it all together here at the house. So you can make a party out of it if you want to. And another of our one of the things that we're doing this year, which I really like, is this global gallery, the Gala Gallery. We have a whole set of artists that have offered some of their art. Some are going 50-50, some have been total donations for us to, and it takes a bit of time for it to upload. Since I'm up on Zoom, it's even worse. But these are all art pieces that are going to be on sale, and the sale starts on the 30th of October. So you can watch out for this special moment as well. And you can buy art throughout or recommend friends to buy art as a way of helping us and helping the artists themselves. There are actually some really nice pieces of art, like these paintings from Fernando Fuentes. He's a Mexican. He's somebody I know from here, from Monterrey, and is a wonderful aquarellist. But we have marvelous pieces of art from all over the world. So if you want to just take a look at what there is, see if you are interested in any of these pieces, see if you're interested in, if you have friends that might be interested in purchasing something. I think this is going to be a really nice way of supporting us, supporting the artists. As with regards to entertainment for the pre and post gala, for the moment, these are the artists that have joined us. So I really do look forward to seeing your tickets being purchased and to sharing those moments with you on the 12th of November. So hopefully you'll be able to join us all. And let me put that link to the Global Gala here so that it's really easy for you to find. Mm-hmm. There we go. Okay. Okay. So there's also, if you know of, Marilyn is always reminding us about the Grassroots Wisdom book. And that is and I'll share screen again. This is the Grassroots Wisdom Book. Goes hand in hand with the map of co-creators. And it's a series of, you might be really interested in this, Sarah, because it's a series of success stories from all around the world, which can be easily replicated wherever you are. So there's stories about how leading an ethical life is happening in different places. There's stories about, they are related to all of our sectors. So we have the compassionate initiatives, but then the stories in the arts, in the business, in education, environment, in restorative justice, and we're slowly populating them with stories. When I'm talking about success stories, there's one story, for example, I think it's in initiatives, where one woman saw kids playing on the street late at night and wondered whether they had somewhere to have supper or didn't have dinner with their families. And so this is this story here, the Nelsonville, Ohio. So she invited these kids over and offered them a meal, and they enjoyed the meal so much that they asked her to have another one and whether they could invite their friends. And then they asked her further if she could to have another one, and invited more friends, and then they invited their parents. And from a dinner that was for 6 people, it ended up into a weekly 350 people joining in. And the woman would get donations from the parents or from other people around in the city that knew about this Thursday community dinner. So there's a lot of ideas out around there that we really would like people to start sharing with us. So both Gary and Sarah, if you do know of stories like that could go into the Grassroots Wisdom Book, you can always send them over to us and we can see how we can edit them and put them up on that page. It only needs to be 2 paragraphs about the success story so that people can feel inspired and actually replicate it in a different area of the world. So that is also one of the means of the map of co-creators, is to find out who is out there, what are they doing, and how can we start joining forces and collaborating in one way or another, even if it's just by inspiring each other. So that's okay. We understand. I think we're coming to the end of the meeting in any case. So thank you, Sarah, for joining us. Thank you, Marge. Thank you, Gary. And I do hope you join us next time in 5 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, thank you very much, Marita. And, you know, as I mentioned, I'm going to try something here in Winnipeg that might get something started in the next short while. So I'll try to send maybe a text to Marilyn and maybe copy you just to see if we might connect on that date in November. Okay.
That would be great. I'm looking forward to that. So
okay. Have a good night. Nice seeing you.
Nice seeing you too. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. So I think Meredith, I think I'm just here. As you can tell, I'm only half here. So
yeah.
Sorry about that. It just,
I'm so glad you did come.
Yeah, no, I
okay.
wanted to say, what I really wanted to say was, I just wanted to endorse the gala that last year was the first year I watched it, and it was absolutely amazing. So, yeah. So, Gary, it's worth tuning into. Meredith, can you just say, if you buy the ticket, can you watch it later?
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to send out the recordings to those that registered. So
okay. Because somebody who had a conflict, there's something else, 50th reunion, class reunion, but they wanted to watch it, so she would buy the ticket and then watch it the next day, sort of thing. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure that we would be sending the recording out.
Just so I can okay. Okay, we'll see you guys later. Thanks, Meredith, and say hi
Okay.
to Marilyn. I hope she's feeling better soon.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, she will be feeling better soon, I'm
Okay,
sure.
thanks for filling in.
Thank you.
Okay, see you later.
Bye. See you
Bye.
soon.